Las Vegas Lights. The Lights was a team that after they were real bright in 2024, Sanchez left, and so did the light in their eyes. Kind of. That was, I don't know. I was trying to do something there, and it was stupid. Dislike this. But they
Unsubscribe.
unsubscribe. Um, they have revitalized this team, and there's a lot of players from last year that you like. There are players from yesteryear that you like. There are players that I currently like on this team. But is Kyle Scott the engine that gets this team going to maybe the heights that they reached in 2024?
I think I'm falling into the same trap that I did with Orange County last season, where I do think Kyle Scott is enough to carry this midfield and make them make sense. And that just isn't true in practice. Now, Las Vegas has improved in a lot of places, right? Like you look at the forward line with Ardiaga. Ben Mines sneakily had 10 goal contributions last year, and I don't think anybody knew that. He's like a very good player. Mark Ibarra does everything in the midfield. They've got new center backs, Mazzola, Rocks. So it's not just Kyle Scott, but it is so obvious that he has to be the guy in the midfield who is setting things up, pulling strings, even in set pieces, setting the table for that. To me, I think he is good enough to get them into the playoff convo, but that is not a sure thing.
I mean, to their credit, like last season couldn't have gone like much worse than they could in club history. They had 6 wins on the board. All of them oddly were shutout victories, but like those were the only instances of getting those shutouts on, or basically all of those were shutout victories. And like if you look back through their club history, they scored fewer goals last season than the COVID shortened year in 2020 as well, that had half the number of games being played. Like
awesome.
This is just something that like the bar was so low from last year that like Las Vegas will improve upon that, or at least you will hope they put more than 27 points on the board for this upcoming season. It's just so many question marks you still have kind of surrounding this team. On the bright side, for the scheduling purposes, we are 116 days away from last season's both conferences wooden spoon battle between Las Vegas traveling to Birmingham, and 172 days away between the meme battle of Miami and Las Vegas as well, which I always look forward to.
Love it. I'm going to go ahead and throw this from the chat. Mazzola for goalkeeper of the year. That was exactly what I was going to throw into. I love this guy. He was awesome in Greenville. He shined when he had a chance in Sacramento. Unfortunately for him, Vitiello is just always that guy and just never seemed to be hurt. And so he never got his chance besides some cup competitions. Between that, you get Guillen, you get a Famo in front of him. You love what Smart is doing. If you want to, if I'm remembering this right, there's a Backhilled article where you mentioned Smart, John. So like read that. You like what you're seeing out of this back line where it's going to be an upgrade. Ybarra comes over and I like what I see with that midfield tandem and Scott. We have them ranked 10th, but I don't think it's out of lack of talent. Genuinely, I'm looking at this team, and I remember ranking them higher than Orange County, but it's not for a lack of talent. It's just this league has gotten so good at this point where they are not at the same level as the San Antonio, as Lexington, obviously, in my eyes, Oakland, but they're not far off. The gap is not as insurmountable as it used to be.
The gap between teams 5 and 11 is vanishingly thin. And if Vegas finished in 5th, I don't think any of us would be surprised.
No.
I mean, there was only 13 points that separated Phoenix in 5th and Las Vegas in 12th. That's like you switch a handful of results here and there, and that very quickly changes.
Do we think that Johnny Rodriguez becomes Johnny Rodriguez from Oakland ever again?
I think we're going to learn quite quickly if that's the case. the thing about those Oakland teams is that they were very cross-centric and constantly teeing him up with service. The way that Devin Rensing wants to play, obviously coming from years at the hip of Ben Pierman, it's a little bit more patient, trying to work through the channels, find the pockets, and be controlled in the way you enter the box. I don't know if that's necessarily Rodriguez's thing. That's not to say he can't be a 10-goal guy within that system. I think that's obviously his level. But there's a little bit of something to prove for him after a very disappointing debut season there.
Also, I think because he's kind of fallen off the depth chart just a little bit, players like Knight, who apparently, full name Knight Pickering, but apparently he just likes to go by Knight from what I've been told. Anyway, a former U.S. Youth national team player, if he gets starting again, he's probably going to be called right back up. He has the potential to be all league and just blow everybody out of the water. Definitely someone to circle over on that left-hand side.
I think there's a decent chance, just given what they're going to want out of that position, that he could end up starting.